Welcome to my channel, guys. My name is CringeyJesse. This is Formula 123 MyCareer. As we see, I'm over here trying to get some upgrades for my powertrain and hopefully turn that into a Spec 2 so that I can get better engine parts, so that I can have a better straight line speed. Moving forward, we had a market, asking for who my rival is, and obviously after the Canadian Grand Prix, it's going to be Esteban Ocon, who clearly wanted a rivalry with me. Looking at your driver standings for right now, Max Verstappen with a good lead, Sergio Perez behind him, Lewis Hamilton down into 5th place, Charles Leclerc, I believe it was, and George Russell also trying to make moves into catching up and making this somewhat of a battle by the end of the race. Or a season, my bad. As we are only about to start round 10 of everything, Q1. Trying to finish out a good lap and get myself into Q2 as we come around the last corner here. Pedal to the metal. DRS flap is wide open across the line as a fastest lap. A 105.4, good enough for P5 by the end of it. And moving on into Q2, trying to get a pull off of Carlos Sainz on our first lap as we come to the end of the lap. The last 2 turns coming up, Carlos Sainz is actually pulling away from us. I don't think the pull is helping us out at all, as we haven't even set a purple sector in this lap, but we come across the line with a 105.5, which is slower than Carlos Sainz, but Sergio Perez getting the pull off of us to take the fastest lap at that moment. Here we are, P7. My lap has been butchered, but I try to finish anyway to see if I can gain any speed, but I cannot. So that 105.4 is going to get us into P7, into Q3 here at the Austrian Grand Prix, which I'm really excited for because this is one of my best tracks on the game. First lap on Q3 coming around the last 2 turns. Once again, I cannot remember who that was in front of me that I was trying to get a pull off of, but George Russell definitely getting the pull off of me. He goes P4, I go P6 with a 105.7. My lap times have been slower here recently, but on my very last lap, I actually find time going 3/10 faster than I had before. Qualifying is over as I cross the line. What will it give me? P8, which is where I was already. But what a spot to be in. At least I get to start the sprint race in the points area. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the starting lineup at the end of the Q3. So because of that, we will see our starting lineup right here, right now, on pole, Lewis Hamilton. In second, Sergio Perez, sharing the first row, both looking to make points to catch up to Max Verstappen. Down into P3, we have Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Verstappen, me, myself, and I, Guan Yu Zhou, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Lance Stroll, Norris, Albon, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda and De Vries sharing a row, Logan Sargent and Ayumu Iwasa starting in last. Really hoping our teammate can make some moves forward, as we need everything to move forward here. Starting our sprint race, 5 lights red on, and away we go to start your sprint. Down into the first turn, I get a really good start off the line, passing Max Verstappen right off the bat into the first turn. Right behind Carlos Sainz as George Russell gets a bit of a move forward, and Max Verstappen also gaining some ground on me there. But as we all know, who's the best diver here? Not me today. We decided to go around the outside of Max Verstappen. That's a change. George Russell getting passed by Carlos Sainz, and then hopefully us right here. No, it doesn't look like we can keep the pace as George Russell moves back ahead, but down the inside we go. Still just not quite there, maybe? No, it's just not going to happen. George Russell definitely keeps P6 from us as we stay in front of Max Verstappen, who is in P8. We do move up 1 spot so far, getting more points as of right now if we finish the race here in P7. Never mind. Max Verstappen decides to pass us right here late in the last couple of turns of lap number 1. But if we can keep up with them, maybe we... No, never mind. Here comes Oscar Piastri. He decided to boot me out of the points going down into turn 1. Can I get the grip out of turn 1 to get by him once again? And it looks like we got a little bit of something. Turning on the ERS to get past him. And yes, no, never mind. We are just extremely slow going through everything. But it does look like we can get it to stick here in Sector 2 on top of Oscar Piastri, who is now behind us. And now we have to do some work to catch back up to Verstappen. But can we do this by the end of lap 2 or not? Really, only one way to do so, and that is to find more grip and more speed around these turns. But looking down at the lower right-hand corner, you can see we do have an engine light on, and that is probably why we're not carrying enough speed to catch up with these guys, even though the first qualifying round, I was up there. Sergio Perez setting the fastest lap here in lap 2. Moving just a little bit further down into lap 3. Cannot get Max Verstappen here in turn number 2, but we do find the grip, the DRS and the ERS to help us get past him here at the start of Sector 2. As we now look forward onto Russell, deep down on the inside, and it looks like we get it. Can we make it stick? Yes, we can make that stick. Starting lap 5, as I held that position for a couple of laps, Max Verstappen gets the pass on me here on the front straight. But we get the DRS to start the second straight as we climb our way up to turn number 2. We don't really need to make the dive on him because we've already got the pass. However, he breaks a little bit late. It's helping us get DRS again once and for all. I don't know why I said it like that. But we got the DRS to help ourselves pull away from Max Verstappen as George Russell now passes Verstappen, putting Verstappen back down into P8, starting the lap 6. George Russell decides to say, hey, let me have a turn at this guy. So he gets past me into pass P6 up into the second straight, but not late enough. He does it just in time for me to get the DRS and the inside around this, whatever this is, but the outside of this turn. Can I get past him or not? I can get past him, but he has the DRS down this straight. Will he be able to use it to get by me? I tried a little cheeky move to stay in front, but it did not work. As George Russell does get by me, I can't get around the outside. Our tires touch just a little bit, and he is going to hold on to that position right there. Going around, and oh, I lost it. I have lost it. I have spun. Norris passes me. Verstappen passes me. I'm in P10. I need to get back on the racetrack, get going. Lance Stroll tries to get me out of P10, but I would love to start P10 in tomorrow's featured race, as I am now battling Lance Stroll for P10 around the last 2 corners side by side. Can I hold it? Will I slide? Will I end the race? And I will not. I will actually hold on to the position, pulling away from Lance Stroll. Into lap 7 we go up the hill. Alex Albon now wants a turn to try to knock me out of the top 10 for tomorrow's race. He does have the softs. The softs might have been the better move, but I decided to use the mediums because I really just wanted to have softs for the race, the featured race. In his DRS zone, his range, coming around the left. I lose it again a little bit, but I'm getting instant. No, I'm not. No, I am not. The race is over. It is done. I am now starting in last place tomorrow. Hamilton, Perez, and Leclerc are your podium finishers, where Max Verstappen actually finishes P7. P7. That is not good for Max Verstappen if he wants to hold on to his driver championship points. It's not good. We got Oscar Piastri and Alexander Albon, who will finish out your top 10. We're not going to go over the entire grid for tomorrow. Ayumu Iwasa starting in 21st. I'm starting in last because I did not finish. But that is your sprint race. And like I said earlier in this video, at least I think I did. If I did not, you're going to go to Fan Cam Jesse, where he will be telling you everything starting now. Welcome back, everybody, to the Austrian Grand Prix. What's it called? Formal race? The actual race? What is it called? I cannot remember the name. To save my life. Featured race. There it is. Right now the sun is up, but according to our weather department, it does look like there will be rain near the end of this race. It will be the first time rain will be in a race for us here on Formula 123 if it does drop at the end of the race. Not gonna lie, after yesterday's sprint race, I'm kind of hoping that it does not. Your starting grid, Lewis Hamilton on pole with Sergio Perez in second, both hoping to put some points and catching up with the championship leader, Max Verstappen. Moving down the grid, we have Leclerc and Sainz in the second row, Russell, Alonso, Max Verstappen all the way down in P7, Norris behind him, Piastri, Albon to finish out your top 10, Stroll and Gasly, Bottas, Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg in 15th, Yuki Tsunoda, Ocon, Sargent, De Vries, Iwasa, Guan Yu Zhou, and after that, just terrible ending to our sprint race yesterday. As you saw in the second to the last lap, we are starting in last place. Down to the track, everybody surrounding their cars. This is Logan Sargent in 18th. I'm not sure why he gets any TV media today, but I like his helmet, I'm not going to lie. And the race is going to start. Alright, your starting grid is here. 5 lights are on, 5 lights are gone, and so is the grid. A little slow start for us here. To start the race, everybody is trying to figure out where they want to take turn 1. We're going to take the outside over here behind Nick De Vries as we get pushed off a little bit by Logan Sargent. But not enough of a push off, as we do get to hold that spot in front of Sargent until like literally just now. And as we all know who I am, we are the diver, the best diver here in Formula 1, best diver on Formula 1. Nobody can dive better than I can. As I go from, I believe it was P19 all the way up to P15, as it is, I believe, Kevin Magnussen behind me, trying to get his spot back, as I'm trying to hunt down Pierre Gasly in an Alpine. And if you're following my gaming TikTok by any chance, you know how I feel about Alpines anyway. Alpines. If you want to educate me on how to formally say that, or the best way, or is it just both ways depending on where you're from? I don't know. And then on top of that, we are in a rivalry with Esteban Ocon at the moment, who is behind us in P17. Hopefully, he can stay back there. We're in the middle of lap 2, trying to stay in front of Kevin Magnussen, who is hot on my tail at the moment. We're not going to make this dive on Pierre Gasly, so we're just going to abandon that and try to take this a regular way. Still trying to stay inside Pierre Gasly's DRS range, but now I'm thinking about it, how I did mention that there may or may not be rain at the end of this race. I might have picked the wrong tire compound to start this race on, because, you know, if we could stay out longer until the rain hits, just one pit stop onto the intermediates or the wets, depending on what kind of rain comes down, would have been a lot better than pitting for mediums and then a wet compound later. As we are ending lap number 2 and starting the lap, oh Jesus, can I stay on the track? Can I get back on the track? Starting the lap that will give us DRS, as Magnussen is going to help me with the DRS. I was going to try to catch up to Pierre Gasly and get his, but if Kevin Magnussen wants to give me his, that would be fantastic, as we now try to catch up to Pierre Gasly's DRS range, maybe, possibly. It does not look like that's going to happen, but, oh no, we did get it. We did get it, and I will take it. And I will use it, along with my ERS, to try to get away from Magnussen and catch up to Gasly once more. As you can all see down in the bottom right hand corner, my engine is a color that it's not supposed to be. Alright, so I will not lie to you, I did not do all of these recordings at the same time. Everything before the feature race was put together and then voice overed. And then I got off and I went to bed, and then I got up this morning and I went to work, because I do have a job outside of YouTube right now. If you guys would be so kind to help me get to the point where I can quit my job, that would be fantastic. But, I'm not actually asking that. Anyway, so before I got off last night, I did make some engine changes to my car, and I was, yeah, I'm starting to last anyway. Those penalties aren't really going to affect me none at all. But I don't think they saved. So we are actually going to look at that now. And no, my gearbox is still 69%, and my MGU-H, whatever that means, is still above 60. Those were the two that I changed yesterday. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually going to be in the video. The video that, because I put the first part of it together, like I said, in my Canadian Grand Prix video, we were going to try a different recording way of doing this. This is a little different, and it's not exactly what I wanted to do, but there's a lot of things that I'm trying to do, being restricted to the PS5's share factory and everything that I can and cannot do. But I will learn, I will do my best, and I will get better, and hopefully my content will get better. And there goes Magnussen, he can go past me. That's fine. We will get up the inside on him real quick. That's a little bit too much of a dive, but that's alright. We will get that DRS on him, and we will mix that with my ERS to try to catch up to Gasly and Hulkenberg, as we do want to finish this race with points. We have gone quite a bit without points. And I know I've started on pole, I believe it was in Spain. Did I start on pole in Spain? Or was it Canada? I don't think I started on pole in Canada. Did I start on pole in Canada? I cannot remember. However, I do remember starting on pole in one race. And it wasn't even a track that I'm really good at. If it was Spain, if it was Canada, it makes a little bit more sense. I'm pretty decent at that track. However, P15 is closer to where I expect to be, just because I am using one of the weaker cars, and if I'm not mistaken, in the R&D section, it still says I have the worst car on the grid, so I really shouldn't be getting pole, I don't believe. P15 is about where I need to be, but if I had a good engine, I would be doing a lot better than what I am doing. So I'm thinking I need to raise the difficulty, but we're gonna make sure that was what needs to happen, and it wasn't just like a fluke in Spain that I did really good. Now, even though I did start on pole, I did not finish on pole. I think I ended up, did I finish that race? I think I did finish that race. However, it wasn't in a good spot. I definitely didn't finish Canada in a good spot. But I did do a lot of catching up in Canada. It was crazy how fast I was catching up to everybody. But now with a bad engine, I'm not exactly sure if it's the difficulty. Ocon, our rival, is coming up to pass us here. Hoping he passed me at just the right spot. I think I already had the DRS on Hulkenberg, so it doesn't really matter. But I now have DRS going down this straight, and a good distance on Esteban Ocon, our rival, and I don't know what the heck I was doing right there. So we're going to go up and around. I'm going to use some more ERS. I really need to hold off on the ERS, but I just want to catch up to Hulkenberg. That's all I want to do. I want to get in front of Hulkenberg. I want to get in front of Gasly. I want to catch up to the people in front of Gasly. You know, I don't want to be stuck in P15 anymore. I want to get points. And whether or not I should be able to get points is not the argument right now. It's the fact that I know I can get points. But my engine might be the reason I'm not. But we'll find out. I forget what's next, but we will definitely... Oh, I think Great Britain is next. I guess we will find out. Great Britain is the next track as we start lap number 8. Once again, still in P15. This is fun. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm so used to playing F121, F122, where F121 I actually did try near the end before 22 came out, but 22 was such a bad game that I just had the difficulty on low. It was a lot lower than what it is now. It's a lot lower than what it was on F122, or 21, my bad. Just because of how fast the AI was at literally everything. I think it was Arva, whose name I will probably drop a lot, and I can't tell if that was just like water coming up off the track of Nico Hulkenberg, or if he's having engine problems up there in front of me at P14. We got Esteban Ocon now in front of me. Kevin Magnussen trying to make a pass on me. We're going to try to keep this on the track, going side by side with Kevin Magnussen. I'm not trying to end my race or his. I'm trying to stay on the track, but I will go off a little bit there to avoid contact. Did not get the warning for exceeding, so maybe the stewards saw that as just as I come up here. I'm going to get a little dive. I'm going to hope Ocon passes that line before me, and my dive was not the best as I go straight across and right off of the circuit into the runway, but we do get to keep our spot in front of our rival Esteban Ocon, who, if you watched the Canadian Grand Prix and you remember correctly, was the guy who threw me into the wall and ruined a good bit of my race. So we definitely don't want him to ruin our race. We definitely don't want him to be in front of us. We just don't like Esteban Ocon at the moment. Now, what was I saying before all of that? I cannot remember. We're looking at the minimap here. It definitely looks like there's a Mercedes up there in first place. I'm trying to see who he might be battling with. It's definitely a Red Bull. I'm going to assume Sergio. My guess at the moment, looking up there, Lewis, Sergio, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz. And I know what you're all thinking, especially if you watch Arva's as well. You know, this would be a good time to cut to that replay camera and just show us what's going on up there. And you know what? You are right, and that's what I want to get to in the future at some point. That's the kind of broadcast that I want to do. Everything would have to be voiceover, which is 100% fine. It really is. But then again, there's so many different ways I can do it. There is. I just know that in the share factory in the PS5, it's you can only go up to like an hour. And if I did the race on top of the what do you call it? On top of the replay, it's just no way. But maybe if I was to do that, because I'm trying to do like daily content. All right, Gasly, get out the way, bro. You're on hards. Get out the way. Oh my Jesus. We are gonna go 3 wide here, and I'm just gonna slide. I have bad tires. I'm gonna try to get out the way here. I've got the DRS, I've got the lead. Not only did I take over Hulkenberg, I also took over Gasly. We're in front of both Alpines now, which has been doing great, honestly. I remember at one point, I know we're only on round 10, but had us beat. They were P8, we were P9, and I believe they're now P6 in the constructor standings. Unfortunately, neither has driver getting points in this race, but definitely that podium finish for Nico Hulkenberg, and then 4th place finish for Kevin Magnussen in the Canadian Grand Prix definitely helped them out in the long run, as we are definitely going to skip our what do you call it, our pit stop. we're going to have Pierre Gasly have a DRS on us, but he did not get that turn right, so we are definitely going to pull away up into here, and he'll still have DRS going into this turn. There we are. But yeah, that P3, P4 finish for the Haas team in the Canadian Grand Prix definitely helped them out, where I have had a string of bad luck in my races, not finishing in the points, DNFing, yesterday's sprint race, just not the best thing that could have happened to us at the moment. We could have got points there, and then we couldn't get points, but we could have had a better finish, but we didn't get either one of those. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and box this lap, just because I don't want the same thing to happen. It also looks like rain as the clouds are getting darker around us. It just feels like rain is coming, and I don't want to pit twice if I don't have to. If I can just stay out and pit the one time while everybody else pits twice. But then what if it's not strong enough? These are things you got to think about, as I am now in P6 in front of Max Verstappen, who is in P7, holding him back from Carlos Sainz. No idea who's in front of us. I do know George Russell's up there. It looks like Sergio Perez leading the race. It does look like there's an Alfa Romeo up there. Now it's me and Max Verstappen side by side. Max Verstappen going a little wide, sliding into me. Charles Leclerc also getting past me. So I'm going to take that as a sign of I need to change my tires. And I will, in fact, do that. And we are going to see if this is a bad idea or a good idea. But there is only one way to find out. Is that someone coming in? That is someone coming in. Who is that? It is Valtteri Bottas, the one who was up there that we saw on the map, as he gets in and out before I even get in. So he's going to be able to extend his lead on me there for a little bit, bringing me down to P14 as Magnussen passes me. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. Might be side by side going up in here. There goes the rain. I should have waited. I should have waited. I should have held out. The rain is falling right after the pit stop. Right after the pit stop. If I would have just waited. I was definitely thinking the rain would come a lot later in this race. But no, in fact, it did not. Because here it is. And my thought process at the beginning was smarter. Could have stayed out for maybe another lap and then gone in for some intermediates. But we're going to see what the people up front are doing. The rain is definitely falling. The rain will definitely wetten out the track. Do I risk it and go now? I mean, it will get wet at some point, right? It will definitely get wet at some point. I think I'm going to go ahead and pit. The track will be wet for other people. Is that Ayumu coming in the pits, or does that just look like he is and he's really not? No, he definitely is, and it looks like Nick DeVries is as well. No telling what they are going to hit onto. DRS is now disabled. See, if I would have just waited a whole lap. I would have pitted once and not twice. But here it is. An intermediate race for the rest of it. 10 laps to go. We're the first ones on the track with intermediates, as everybody in the front is now coming in. You see Lewis Hamilton, you see Sergio Perez, you see a Ferrari, you see Max Verstappen. Unless Max Verstappen isn't coming in, I can't really tell. Everybody on slicks right now. Everybody's in the pits right now. It's fantastic, but am I close enough to make some passes? That's the real question. And I don't think I am. but there's really only one way to find out, as we are coming around the last 2 turns. I lost my back end a little bit there. Did y'all see that? We still got some people in the pits. We got what looks like an Alfa Romeo. We got a Haas about to leave. We hit that just right. We got Kevin Magnussen in front of me with an Alfa Romeo, I believe, in front of him, and it is Valtteri Bottas. Not too shabby. We are still just a couple of positions up from where we started the race, which was last, and now we're in 17th, so can't really complain. This is our first wet track here in F123 in this season, which I think is wild. I really think that's wild. Me and a friend are playing a co-op mode, and we just finished Qatar, and we have yet to have a wet race, like, at all. And it's to me, it's funny. It's ridiculous. Are we going to need to go up to wets? Are there people moving to wets? I don't have time to box 3 times. I just can't do it. Ocon, he is in the pits. We got past him. Is he on mediums? Is Ocon leaving the pits on mediums? There's no way. There's no way. Alonso, we're in front of Fernando Alonso. We are in P14 right now, following a Kevin Magnussen who is in P13 and a Bottas who's in P12. I can't say there's a chance for points in reality, but we are making moves. We are making progress. We are almost, we are almost 10 spots up on where we started. But I cannot figure out how to turn on this wet road, and that is definitely a yellow flag. Will it be a safety car? No, it will not be a safety car. And it was a car. As a matter of fact, it looks like a Ferrari. Ooh, and then it's me. And then it's me. As Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso get past me. Pierre Gasly gets past me. Drifting is not the move on this game. We should know this by now, as I try to do it again. Alright, so we will not be able to tell which Ferrari it was that spun out up there ahead of us, but it was definitely a Ferrari who is now in P11 outside of the points, while his teammate looks like he's still in 3rd with George Russell and Max Verstappen trying to close the gap on him. Max Verstappen with a good lead in the constructors. I can't remember by how much. I definitely don't think it's enough of a lead. No, I'm sorry. I definitely don't think it's a small enough lead for Sergio Perez to catch up after this race, or even Lewis Hamilton if he finishes on 1st with the fastest lap. But if Max Verstappen keeps slacking the way he is, I can definitely see Sergio catching up. I do believe Lewis Hamilton is currently P6 in the Drivers' Championship. So, but there's plenty of time for things to be moved around in the Drivers and the Constructors, as we are only on round 10 of 23. Alright, lap number 19 is on its way. Pierre Gasly still in front of me. I'm really hoping Esteban Ocon is behind me, because I don't know exactly where he is, and it definitely looks like he is, as we have Nick De Vries and Hulkenberg behind me. Ayumu Iwasa, our teammate, behind them, who looks like he's getting passed by a Williams, probably Logan Sargent. And then it looks like Esteban Ocon, if I'm seeing the colors correctly. However, I am colorblind, so it's very possible that I am not. I need to learn how to drive in the rain, and that is a fact. The fact that I am still on the track, though, is improvement. I'm not good at wet races yet. Oh, a little hard there on the gas. And look, they're going 3 wide in front of me. Alonso, Gasly, and Tsunoda. However, it will be Fernando Alonso who gets the better grip out of the turn. Yuki Tsunoda staying behind him in P15. Pierre Gasly still in P16, as that 3 wide little battle there is helping me catch up just a little bit. Hoping that they continue to battle just a little bit longer. 6, well, I guess 5.5 laps left to go. Before the end of the race, and I would still like to make a couple of passes before the end of it. However, I'm not gonna lie, even though I'm really bad at driving in the wet, this game looks a lot better in the wet than it did in previous. Yeah, I mean, even the rain is kind of like just falling in front of me, looking like I'm actually driving in the rain at the moment. Somewhat getting in the way of everything, because all I see is droplets everywhere. You got the droplets on the TV cam, which also isn't really helping anything. The droplets on the car look absolutely stunning. As you can see, some of them just racing to the back of the car because of how fast you're going. Ooh. Gotta stay on the racing line. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Look at that turn. I'm slowly figuring it out. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. It's alright, it's alright. See what we can do here. As we now have one. Almost lost it again. As we now have 4 laps to go in this race to try to catch up to and pass a couple of these cars in front of me, as it looks like Fernando Alonso is actually helping us catch up to more of the group. I could be very wrong, but that looks like a lot of cars right there. If we could just catch up and pass a couple of them, that'd be fantastic. And that was a little hard on the brakes there. Get back on the track. There we go. There's the exceeding track expectations. We just gotta stay here, stay here. Look at all those cars right there. If I could get past one, it'll open the floodgates and I'll get past another, and then another, and it's like a domino effect. The end of this race could be very exciting, or it can look exactly the way it looks right now. Me stuck behind an Alpine, not making any progress. Alright, lap number 23. 3 laps to go. Come on, come on. Look at all of those cars, bro. They're in a line. We gotta be able to pass one of them. And there it is. The wet dive on Pierre Gasly. We do get the move. We get it done. Yuki Tsunoda's next. 2.5 laps to go. Oh, make the turn, make the turn. There it is. Come here, you. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Does that mean someone spun out in front of us? I would really hope so. I don't want to be a part of the yellow flag. And it is someone who spun out behind us. It was behind us. It was Pierre Gasly, as he is no longer with the group that he was once in line with. Pierre Gasly is out of the session. I did not have to fight to make the dive to get past him. I could have just waited, but we're tired of waiting. Looks like the group in front of me might have left me in the dirt, because I really don't. Oh no. It's the rain, y'all. I am not good at driving in the rain. But if things keep going the way that they are going, it does look like I will beat both of the Alpines now. Ooh. Almost lost it right there. And your final lap here in the 2023 Austrian Grand Prix has gone underway, even though it's not the last lap for... Wait, it's not the start of the last lap for everybody, as it does definitely look like a Williams is going to cross that line with a Red Bull behind him. My guess is it's Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez. I lost him. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, and then George Russell. Unless that Williams passes that Red Bull, and it does not look like he's going to do that. That is my guess. That is my prediction for the ones up front, as we have Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, and George Russell. If I'm not mistaken, that's 5 people. That is your top 5 here in the Austrian Grand Prix. Prediction. It is not confirmed yet. It will be confirmed as soon as I get around this here corner, as at one point I was on the tail of Yuki Tsunoda, and driving in the rain got to me. I forgot what I was doing when all of that happened, and we are now 3 seconds behind. Not hitting the wall, not losing a tire, not DNFing, but actually finishing your 2023 Austrian Grand Prix higher than where we started, because we did start in last, and we're finishing in P16. What a race, I'm not going to lie. And Zhou Guanyu, your driver of the day. For our first rain race, yeah, gotta give it to him, man. As Mercedes celebrates in the pit lane, as they are happy that they are not only getting closer in the constructors, they are also, Lewis Hamilton is getting closer and closer to Max Verstappen. That is number 55. I don't know Carlos Sainz or Charles Leclerc's number, but we're going to go to that podium. And it looks like I was correct. And there's Sergio Perez in second and Carlos Sainz in third, unless I'm just confused and I've forgotten what Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc looks like. That, my friends, is a wrap to your 2023 Austrian Grand Prix. As your weekend results, Lewis Hamilton comes out on top with a total of 34 points. Sergio Perez comes out with a total of 25 points. Carlos Sainz in third with a total of 20 points. Max Verstappen, your driver championship leader at the moment, only coming away with 12 points. As we look, my bad. We've already seen the sprint race results. We're going to look at the race results, and it was, in fact, Carlos Sainz in third, Max Verstappen in fourth, George Russell in fifth. Lewis Hamilton closing that gap as he so wants to. Sergio Perez also closing that gap as he so badly wants to come out on top of his teammate Max Verstappen, tired of being driver number 2. as it is Ayumu Uwasa also finishing not in last place. Good job for my teammate there, coming in P20. Still 0 points, but that is okay because, oh wait, I'm stupid. Haha, that's this race. We both got 0 points. Anyway, Zhou Guan, you definitely coming out on top with that one stop. Anybody else had a one stop? One stop was definitely the way to go. One stop is what I should have done. Unfortunately, I pitted, and a lap later had to box again, and that was in fact crazy. Looking at your standings at the end of this race, Max Verstappen's lead drops to a mere 18 points as Sergio Perez closes that gap. Lewis Hamilton, who was further behind, if I'm not mistaken, is now only 51 points away. Max Verstappen does not have the championship in the bag just yet. Will he be able to run away with it moving forward, or will Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, possibly even George Russell, Charles Leclerc, even Carlos Sainz, who did come away with a victory over Max Verstappen today, even though he didn't win, he did get podium, 2 spots, 1 spot ahead of Max, right? I think. Anyway, moving on to your constructor standings as of right now, Mercedes now 95 points behind Red Bull, as Red Bull was still able to beat Mercedes in the race, having Perez and Verstappen come in before both the Mercedes. However, Lewis gets the most points to help the team get a little bit closer, I do believe. I'm not sure. I wasn't looking at the points beforehand. Everybody has points. Williams Racing now 2 points behind Cringey Racing. That, my friends, is no good. No good. We are now in danger of being in last place, where our goal set by our sponsor is P8, which is now held by AlphaTauri, 10 points ahead of us, and so is Alfa Romeo, also 10 points ahead of us. Alpine a good bit ahead of us, and has, like I said, jumped up to P6 in the constructors, and that is something. Aston Martin not doing good, as Fernando Alonso, well, at one point was out of the points, but now back into the points. Lance Stroll not in the points. But yeah, and this is round number 10, 13 rounds to go. This is starting to look like it could come to an exciting end with 13 rounds left to go. Now that we are at the end, guys, let me know down in the comments below if you finished this video. Let me know what you think about the starter. The next race, Great Britain, is probably going to go back to a normal way of doing it, like just the race. I might add information. I'm going to be playing around, but let me know what you guys think. Either way, thank you for watching the video. If you did like the content that you were watching, please hit that like button. It helps me out self-consciously more than anything else. It lets me know that you like what you see, and it's going to inspire me to work a little bit harder. But yeah, and that's the only reason I like the like buttons. If you want to see this content as it comes out, click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you just want to have it pop up on your For You page on YouTube, just subscribe. You don't even have to hit the notification button. Do you, my friends, do you. Either way, this is your round 10. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, great day, great afternoon, depending on where you watch it, really. Have fun with your lives, guys.